All right, behind the camera right now, but I'm gonna try something a little new today. A longer format video for Lift Golf Repeat to hopefully give a little bit more insight into my thoughts with putting, what I'm trying to practice, what I'm thinking about, how I should be practicing, how I go about improving putting, and all that kind of stuff. So we're at Quail Creek. This is the Quail putting green. This is a very windy Thursday afternoon. Just got done teaching some golf lessons. Played a bunch of golf this week. 3 rounds last week. 2 of them was a scramble format. One of them was stroke play. Stroke play I ended up taking 10th place, which was not bad for the crappy round of golf I played. But my putting is just something that I'm not super confident in right now. It's something that has kind of slipped away the last few months. I've always been a really confident putter. I've always played with the same putter, but this is actually a new putter this year. This is the Ping PLD. I got it from a buddy of mine, Caleb. He's also a lefty, so we always swap equipment every now and then. But I was just looking for something with a little smaller head, and so I like this a lot. And it's kind of just been slipping away from me these last few weeks. I really haven't been practicing at all. So this is hopefully going to give me a little opportunity to come in, get some good practice, and kind of find it again. So, you know, I've always believed that putting is more confidence and mental than it is mechanics. And so my goal for today is just to create some confidence around the green. So to kind of develop that confidence, I'm going to start off with just the highest percentage putts, which are these 3-foot putts, something that tour professionals are averaging anywhere between 90 to 98% of making these, right? And I really like using tees to kind of signify different distances and all that kind of good stuff. And to, again, just kind of build this confidence, I'm going to create this little gate drill here so that I know that I'm always pointed in the right direction. This is a pretty straight putt, nothing too crazy about it. And my goal here is to just start developing a good rhythm with my putts, feeling that I can just confidently go straight back and straight through, and the golf ball is going to start relatively on the right line, right? So as I'm going through this drill, I'm really just being conscious of tempo. Am I taking it as fast back as I am forward? And then keeping everything as one piece. So just arms, shoulders, chest, everything working together. And really just focusing on one point on that golf ball. When I was playing the other day, there was something that I started thinking about that has really, I think, is going to be a big thought throughout this whole practice, is widening my stance slightly. I was getting a little too narrow. This just feels naturally comfortable for me, but I think I need to be a little bit more here. Provides just a little bit more space, a little bit more stability, and a little bit more room for my hands to kind of swing back and forth. Whenever I'm doing these 3-foot putts, I always think about Tiger Woods' story I heard that he used to have to make 200 3-foot putts in a row. Or maybe it was 5-foot putts before he was allowed to leave the green. You kind of hear those stories about pro golfers doing these absurd challenges, right? And I always wonder what would happen if we held ourselves to those standards. Putting stroke is actually feeling pretty good. Did a couple of these off the toe, but again, the gate drill really allows me just to commit to the line and just trust that it's going to go towards the hole, so I can just really focus on the tempo and the rhythm of it. I can really feel the weight of my head of the club while I'm doing this. I'm not forcing the club into positions. I'm not trying to necessarily control the length of the putt. I'm more just letting the weight of the club do the work. I'd say my grip pressure is probably a 4 out of 10, right? I always remember my swing coach talking about how grip pressure should not be tight, because you don't want to death grip the club, because if you think about death gripping, that creates tension, and tension doesn't allow good rhythm and smooth structure of the swing. But he always said that when you hold the club, it should be so unified, the club in your hands, that if you were to dip it in water, everywhere that your hands were touching, the water wouldn't get onto the grip. So I always think about that when I'm holding the putters. Rather than thinking about holding it tighter, can I just be more cognizant of getting my entire hand on the grip? Can I make sure that every inch of my palm is on there? Can I think about every loose bit of my hand? Is there anything that's not fully secured onto the grip, right? And so that's just a way to think about grip pressure more than just tightness, is how well, right? So my right hand, every inch of my finger, every bit of my palm is secured onto there, and same with my left hand, right? It fits right into the nook of my index and my pinky finger, filling every single hole, so that I'm not death gripping it again, but I'm just super connected with the putter. And that connection allows me to have a lot more control of my hands. Get back to that wide stance again. All right. And, this is just kind of like a confidence builder drill more than anything. So made a good bit there. Feeling pretty good about the stroke, right? So now I'm going to kind of move into 3 sets of longer putts. The average distance that I find myself, at least with my approach shots, is roughly 30 to 20 feet away. So that's where I really practice my lag putts. But when I'm chipping on and I'm trying to get an up and down, I'm averaging probably closer to like 10 feet. So we're just going to practice a couple of those 10 footers. So I'm going to get myself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, this 10-foot mark would be a really good position for me if I was in a birdie opportunity, right? Let's just say I had a short par 4 and I was able to knock it close, or it was a par 5 and I was able to just chip on. This 10-foot putt would be something that I would really be realistically looking at birdie for. And so it's just something that I want to make sure that I practice and I get some good rhythm with, and that I don't do anything stupid, right? I mean, with this one, I'm trying to just get it to die into the hole. Every putt you leave short doesn't go in the hole, but every putt that dies by the hole, there's going to be a better chance of you two-putting that for sure, right? So again, leaving these short, but the objective here is to find the one. Let's see if I can do it on this one, to just let it trickle on in there. Oh, so close. So close. But that's what I'm looking for with these, right? I want to give it every opportunity to get into the hole. This is practicing those putts that, like, man, I could save this, I could get this par, I could get this birdie, but you don't want to just mess it up entirely and turn it into a wild 3-putt, right? So I'm just practicing this dying on the edge of the hole. Is that enough? They're more than anything. Yeah, that was really nice. I like that. More than anything with these putts, the center strike with the club face is going to be super important. You know, even just a touch off from the center, you're going to see a significant difference in roll as well as distance, right? I always demonstrate this one, right? So we're going to putt 2 golf balls at the same time. One's going to be off the center, one's going to be off the heel. You can see the one I hit in the center goes a couple more inches farther than the one I hit off the heel. So that's a drastic, right? But you can see how those little differences, not hitting in the center of the club face, is going to make a really big difference out on the putting green. But it's also something I like to do too, is look at the hole, right? Like I said, I think putting is much more confidence than it is mechanics. And so me looking at the hole takes away a lot of the thought of the stroke and gets me into this more athletic mindset of ball, club, target, right? I'm not getting robotic with it, not trying to make the perfect swing, just giving it as if I were to roll this golf ball at the hole. When I look at the hole, when I get all set up and I'm able to just peek at it, kind of get back into that mindset of what it's like to roll, and just give me a little bit more athleticism. Let's tighten that grip a little bit. Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah. It's funny. I mean, again, it's all about fundamentals, right? It's just like I was gaining confidence with those 3-foot ones. It's finding that right grip, a good pressure, well connected to the club, finding a balanced stance, and just believing in your ability to trust the speed, the slope of the green, right? Again, these kind of 10-footers are something that I'll get when I'm getting up and down around the green, when I'm trying for a birdie or anything like that. But again, just don't want to turn it into anything dumb. Those are easy 3 putts if you leave that long or short. But all right, last but not least, we're going to get in some lag putts, right? Again, my average lag putt, if I were to make a green in regulation, I'd be looking at a nice long 30, 25-foot putt just like this, right? The objective here is just to get it close. I mean, God, I'm not gonna say never, because I might make one of these, but I shouldn't make one of these. Percentage wise, it should take me a couple 30 tries to get there. So the objective is just to get as close as I possibly can. And I would say a good goal for me is within a putter length, right? If I get these golf balls within a putter length of the hole, I feel pretty darn confident that I can nail it from there, right? So these greens are rolling really, really nice here at Quail Creek too. Most of these clubs in the area roll these things at, like, I don't know, an 11, 10 and a half, right? It's not too often you'll get them rolling like a 12 to 13. They're quote unquote member friendly. It's Florida. It's tough to get some high undulation around here. But and so I'd be happy with 2 of those 3. Those first 2, putting yourself within a putter length. This guy would give me a little bit of trouble, but of course, every time I putt it like that, it just rims out. And with these lag ones too, it's, again, you want to create variety in your practice. You don't want to be this robot. You want to test yourself as if you're going to be on the golf course, because on the course, you're never going to have the same putt. You might be in the same area roughly, right? And you're going to play the same course a couple times, but you're never going to have the same putt 2 times in a row. So I'm a big fan of, with practicing lag putts and putting in general, is just constantly moving around the green and finding different putts, different slopes, different breaks, different ways to read it. I might do it. That did it. It's a pretty good one. But again, like, I mean, I shouldn't make those putts. That should be good. I mean, I was happy with 2, upset with this one, right? That's a little too long for me to safely make that 2 putt. You just don't want to make any massive mistakes with these lag putts, and that's why you're aiming for what I call the garbage can. You're not aiming for the actual hole. There's a pretending the hole is the size of a garbage can and just trying to get it within there, right? It's not in the garbage can. Woo. I'm fighting wind, grain, and the hill here. Let's see if I can just cut it right in between those two.